What's on your mind right now? I don't just mean what you're trying to focus on. I mean, what else is floating around in there? That email you forgot to send, that phone call you need to make, the birthday gift you need to buy for your cousin, that vague, nagging, stressful feeling about that big project at work, the fact that your car is making a weird noise. Our brains are like a busy, chaotic city with a constant stream of mental traffic, and according to the productivity expert David Allen, all of these unresolved tasks, these open loops, are the source of almost all of our stress, our lack of focus, and our feelings of being overwhelmed. His legendary book, Getting Things Done, is not just another system for managing your to-do list. It is a profound and almost spiritual philosophy for clearing your mind, achieving a state of relaxed control, and unleashing your true creative potential. It is a practical, step-by-step guide to achieving what martial artists call a mind like water. It's a method for getting the clutter out of your head so you can finally get things done. The single most important and liberating idea in the entire GTD philosophy is this. Your mind is for having ideas, not for holding them. Read that again. Your mind is for having ideas, not for holding them. This is a revolutionary concept. Most of us use our brains as a kind of glorified and very leaky storage unit. We try to keep our entire to-do list, our appointments, our brilliant ideas, and all our vague worries floating around in our heads. But our brains are terrible at this job. They are not designed to be a filing cabinet. They are designed to be a creative, problem-solving machine. When you force your brain to act as a reminder system, you create a huge amount of psychic stress. David Allen, drawing on a psychological concept called the Zeigarnik effect, explains that our brains are programmed to be constantly reminded of the things we have committed to do, but have not yet finished. These are the open loops. That nagging feeling you have that you're forgetting something, that's an open loop. That low-grade anxiety about a big project, that's a collection of open loops. These open loops are like running dozens of unnecessary programs in the background of your computer. They drain your mental RAM, they slow down your processing speed, and they make it impossible to focus on the task at hand. The entire Getting Things Done system is designed to solve this one fundamental problem. It is a method for creating a trusted external system, a second brain, that can hold all of your commitments, both big and small. The goal of GTD is to get everything, and I mean everything, out of your head and into this trusted system. Once your brain learns that it can trust this external system to remember everything for you, it will finally let go. It will stop nagging you. It will stop wasting energy on trying to remember, and it will finally be free to do what it does best, to be present, to be creative, and to think big thoughts. So how do you build this trusted external brain? The GTD methodology is a 5-step process. It's a workflow, a set of habits that, when practiced consistently, will bring you to that state of relaxed, productive control. The first step is capture. This is the art of the mind sweep. The goal of the capture phase is to get every single thing that has your attention, every open loop, out of your head and into a trusted collection tool. This is your inbox. Your inbox is not just for email. It can be a physical in-tray on your desk, a notebook, a digital app, or a combination of these. The key is to make the capture process as frictionless as possible and to be absolutely ruthless about it. That brilliant idea you had in the shower? Write it down. That bill you need to pay? Throw it in the in-tray. That thought, oh, I need to call my sister? Record it in a voice memo. You capture everything from the most mundane tasks, buy milk, to the most ambitious life goals, start my own business. You don't try to organize them or prioritize them at this stage, you just get them out. The initial mind sweep, where you spend an hour or two capturing every single open loop in your life, is a profoundly liberating experience. It is the first step to a clear mind. The second step is clarify, or as it's often called, process. This is where you go through your inbox, item by item, and you ask a series of simple, powerful questions. The first question is, what is it? The second, and most important question is it actionable? Is this something you actually need to do something about? If the answer is no, you have 3 choices. It's either trash, you throw it away, it's something to incubate, you put it on a someday maybe list, or it's reference material, you file it away. If the answer is yes, if it is actionable, then you must ask the single most powerful question in the entire GTD system. What is the very next action? This is a question about the absolute next, physical, visible thing you need to do to move the item forward. Not the whole project, just the very next step. And this leads to the famous 2-minute rule. If that next action will take less than 2 minutes to do, you should do it right then and there, the moment you are clarifying your inbox. Don't write it down, don't defer it, just do it. The amount of small, nagging tasks you can clear out of your life with this simple rule is astonishing. The third step is organize. Once you have clarified an item and decided on the next action, you need to put it where it belongs. You need to organize it into the right bucket in your trusted system. If the item has a specific due date or appointment time, it goes on your calendar. The calendar in the GTD system is a sacred space reserved only for things that have to happen on a specific day or at a specific time. If the item requires more than one step to complete, it is a project. You create a projects list, which is simply a list of all the multi-step outcomes you are committed to finishing. The project itself, for example, plan birthday party, goes on this list. The specific next action that you defined in the clarify step, for example, call caterer for a quote, goes on a next actions list. Many people like to organize their next actions list by context, so you might have a list of calls to make, a list of errands to run, or a list of things to do at computer. This allows you to see all of your available options when you are in a specific context. If an action is something you are waiting for from someone else, for example, you've asked a coworker for a report, it goes on a waiting for list. And as we mentioned, if an item is not actionable right now, but it's something you might want to do in the future, it goes on your someday, maybe list. This is a brilliant tool. It allows you to capture all your creative ideas, learn Spanish, write a novel, visit Japan, without having them clutter up your main system and cause you stress. The fourth step is reflect. This is the step that most people skip, and it is the absolute key to making the entire system work. A trusted system is not a static object, it is a living, breathing part of your life that needs to be tended to. The most important part of the reflect phase is the weekly review. The weekly review is a sacred, non-negotiable appointment you make with yourself once a week to get clear, get current, and get creative. During the review, you look at your calendar, your project lists, and your next action lists. You clear out your inboxes. You review your someday maybe list to see if any items are ready to become active projects. The weekly review is the master habit that ensures that your external brain is up to date and that you can truly, deeply trust it. It is the moment you rise above the daily grind and look at your life from a higher perspective. And the fifth and final step is engage. This is where you actually do the work. But now you are doing it from a completely different state of mind. Because you have a trusted system that is holding all of your commitments, you can engage with your chosen task with a clear, focused, and present mind. You are no longer haunted by the nagging feeling that you are forgetting something or that you should be working on something else. You can trust that the choice you have made in this moment is the right one. You can be fully present, you can achieve a state of mind like water. The magical power of the next action. Let's go back for a moment to the most powerful and philosophical idea in the entire GTD workflow, the concept of the next action. The reason so many of us procrastinate is because our to-do lists are filled with lies. They are not actually lists of things to do, they are lists of projects and outcomes. You might have an item on your list that says, fix the car. That is not an action. It is a multi-step project, and it feels vague, overwhelming, and stressful, so you avoid it. But the GTD system forces you to ask, what is the very next physical action I need to take to move this forward? The next action is not fix the car. The next action is probably look up the phone number for my mechanic. Or if you already have the number, the next action is call the mechanic to schedule an appointment. Do you see the difference? Fix the car is a big, scary, undefined blob of stress. Call the mechanic is a small, clear, and easy-to-do physical action. The act of defining the next action transforms a project from a source of anxiety into a simple, doable task. It is the secret to overcoming procrastination and building momentum. By consistently defining and taking the next action, you can work your way through even the most complex and intimidating projects, one simple, stress-free step at a time. The ultimate goal, a mind like water. The ultimate goal of the Getting Things Done system is not just to be more productive. It is not just about checking more items off your to-do list. The ultimate goal is a philosophical one. It is to achieve a state of being that David Allen, borrowing a term from martial arts, calls a mind like water. Imagine a perfectly still pond. If you throw a small pebble into it, the pond responds perfectly and appropriately. It ripples out, and then it returns to a state of calm. If you throw a huge boulder into it, it responds with a huge splash, and then it returns to a state of calm. The water doesn't overreact or underreact. It responds with exactly the right amount of energy, and then it is still again. This, Alan argues, is the natural optimal state of the human mind. Our minds are designed to be calm, clear, creative, and fully present. But for most of us, our minds are not like a still pond. They are like a turbulent, muddy, and churning mess. We are so filled with the clutter of our open loops, our worries, and our unfinished business that when a new pebble is thrown in, a new email, a new request from our boss, we overreact, we get stressed out, we feel overwhelmed. We are not in a state of relaxed control. The GTD system is a practice. It is a mental martial art. It is the set of techniques that allows you to systematically take all the clutter that is churning in your mental pond and place it into a safe, trusted container outside of yourself. And when you do that, your mind can finally return to its natural state. It can become clear, it can become still, it can become like water. And from that state of calm, clear, and present moment awareness, you can engage with your life and your work, not with stress and anxiety, but with focus, with creativity, and with a deep and abiding sense of control. This is a profound and practical philosophy for our busy modern world. It is an inquiry into the nature of clarity itself. If you are ready to get the clutter out of your head and create the space to do your best work and to live your best life, then you are in the right place. Welcome to Geeky Philosopher. Subscribe, and let's continue to explore the ideas that can help us navigate our world with more clarity and purpose.